The New Patriotic Party has not said in any manner that we are distancing. We are rather cautioning and reminding the people that those statements that have been purported to have said does not represent the ideals and practice of the party. It is different from when a statement is issued to distance yourself. Reminding your rank and file of your party of the ideals and practices of the party does not stop to say distance.
Okay.
Again, in disciplinary actions, caution is part of disciplinary action. It is not in the interest of any group or any individual to determine the kind of punishment to be given to persons who are purported to have committed certain wrongs or to have misrepresented certain facts or decisions of the party. We have procedures within the party, and these two gentlemen are purported to have made statements on videos that we have seen. I have seen some two statements coming from these two individuals. Abronye indicating that the video that is seen is doctored.
Okay.
And to mean that he did not say what we heard or saw that he said. If indeed he never said that, it means that the General Secretary's letter has even achieved the aim, the intent and purposes of what was purported to have been said. The compilation of a register has procedures in our party. And in the last elections, I was the head and operational directory for the compilation of that particular register. In fact, it was for us to go around and validate the album. So there is procedure for the work to be done. So if somebody purports to have arrogated certain powers to the person, to himself or herself, it is in the right sense for the General Secretary to issue a statement to correct and put all those facts in perspective for everybody to appreciate the fact that we are fair and we know very well that we want to uphold the good faith in our democratic credentials and to let the people know that the NPP is a pacesetter of democracy. Again, in the other aspect that was said by Chairman Wontumi, we indicated that it has never been part of the decisions to hold presidential primaries early. We all know that we need ample time to rebuild, to regroup, and to recapture power. We all know. So this has been one of the formidable forces and decisions that we have taken in recent times that stands the test of time and will be able to resolve all the differences within the New Patriotic Party. All these issues that have been raised, you cannot point specifically to a certain matter that has to be related to. However, there are always procedures to deal with people. And one of the functions of dealing with people, one of it is to also caution them and issue statements to remind them of the ideals of the party. When the people refuse and proceed to do otherwise, then there are other sanctions that we ought to have taken. So for me, I would have wished that no group within the presidential aspirants would have come out to even prescribe or tell us what to do, because we as leadership of the party are very mindful of protecting the sanctity of the elections to ensure that there's fairness so that everybody will accept the outcome. And we have done it before. We as a nation, we have done it before. And I think that we'll be able to do it again. So I call on all of them that let's give the national leadership the way to be able to put these corrective measures. Everybody is speaking. All the functions, everybody is speaking. So you can imagine how national leadership will have to take actions in some of these particular matters. And I think that they will listen to us and give us the room to be able to crack the whip at appropriate times that we think that we need to do. So we are taking measures to make sure that those corrective measures are done.
Prof, I mean, given that these alleged remarks came from two regional chairmen, don't you think the party should institute some form of investigation? I mean, Kwesi Kwarteng just told us that this only goes to fuel speculations that the system is rigged to favor a particular candidate.
Charles, how do I investigate something that has not been the standard? One, somebody says that the early primaries were done because of this reason. And I know I was part of those who took the decision, and it is not that reason. How do I investigate that? There's absolutely nothing to investigate. I was part of those who took the decision to have the early primaries. So how do I investigate something that I know from onset that it is not true? That was not the decision. So how do I investigate that? You see, let us be very circumspect and make sure that we don't necessarily create a lot of stories in the media space or publicly or outside so that they will continue to be discussing the NPP. We just finished the United Nations General Assembly. Over 137 Ghanaians went to that particular program. When Ghanaians last Akufo-Addo for 24 people who went, the NDC was on the rooftop talking about how lavishly we were spending Ghanaian money. 137. These are issues that we should be discussing. Galamsey is killing people. 10 districts have been shut down for lack of water. This is what we are talking about. Over 20% of utilities have been increased since John Mohammed came into government. We are not talking about all of these things. There are bread and butter issues that we have to talk about. These are internal matters that we should deal with. And there are procedures that have been put in. The election committee is there. The party is making sure that the album is good. The validation is going to be very transparent. In a due process, in a due time, the General Secretary will issue a statement. We are going to do a validation of all the albums. And I want to let everybody know, any delegate, nobody will be able to take anybody out. Once you voted in the last presidential primary, nobody will be able to take you off. If not God, like death, nobody can take anybody off.
All right, Prof.
And that is what we are going to do. It's going to be fair, and everybody will get to understand that this is. So we will name and announce persons who will be going to every region. We are zoning the country, and we will have teams from the national headquarters who will be going to do the validation. And in the validation process, the chairman of the Council of Elders will continue to be the chairman of the validation. The constituency chairman will be there. The constituency secretary will be there. The organizer will be there. The MP rep will be there. The women organizer. These are clear representations. It's going to be very clear, and the procedure is going to be spelled out.
Okay.
So I urge our people to be very circumspect. Let's respect the rules. Let's allow the national party to function.
All right. Thank you very much.
Proper place.
Thank you very much, Haruna Mohammed, the NPP's Deputy General Secretary. This is still the Channel One newsroom here on Channel One TV. Still ahead.